One thing I wish someone had showed me in my early days of learning to play the guitar was how much pressure to apply and where to put my finger to get the notes to come out clearly. Intuition tells you to play right in the middle between the frets. That's where I always thought the proper placement was. The proper placement is all the way up to the piece of metal, the actual fret itself. If I get right against the fret, I'm making very good contact between the string and the fret. I don't have to apply a whole lot of pressure to get that note to come out clear. In fact, I'm applying very little pressure. A way to check yourself on this is to play a note. Make sure your finger's placed right up against the fret. Slowly start lightening up the pressure with that finger until the note just starts to buzz. So I still hear the note, but it's buzzing. I only need to press a little bit harder than that for the note to get clear. I'm not pressing very hard at all right now to get that note out clear. But if I move back, I'm going to keep the same amount of pressure. I'm going to move back slightly. So I only moved a tiny bit, but now the amount of pressure that I'm applying is not adequate. So I got to press harder. If I move back further, I have to press harder. Now I'm having to press really hard to get the note out clearly, and it's making the note go sharp. Two things about using too much pressure. One, your hands aren't going to move as fast and everything's going to be more difficult because you're gripping harder than necessary. The other thing is it can make you go out of tune. So if I play this note, notice that the string is touching the fret, but it is not touching the fingerboard. There's space there between the string and the wood of the fingerboard. But if I press hard, I can make the string touch the fingerboard, but the note goes sharp. If your chords are sounding out of tune, it very well could be because you're pushing too hard, you're applying too much pressure. When you're playing a chord, you won't be able to get all of the notes up against the fret. So for instance, if I'm playing an A chord, I cannot get all three fingers comfortably up against the fret. But I want at least one of my fingers to be touching the fret, and I want to get the others as close as I can. And it's okay, it's actually a good thing if your fingers are touching each other. Some people think there needs to be space between your fingers. There doesn't. Get as close as you possibly can to the frets, and the chord will come out clearer with less buzz. It took me quite a while to figure that out on my own, so I hope that helps